Kaipacha with the weekly Pele report. You see some water over there? That is a waterfall, and there's a nice little creek going all the way down along the other side of this beautiful meadow. I don't know that I'm going to make it all the way down there. It's a pretty steep drop off. And I'm just feeling a little bit more like a meadow today. Mellow meadow. Yeah. The golden waves of grain. Oh, Mother Nature. So gorgeous. So beautiful. What are we doing here? We got the moon. The moon is in Scorpio, but she is going into Sagittarius today. And, coming along, going to oppose Jupiter. Okay, and then by Friday is going to go into Capricorn. And trine Chiron, square Neptune just before that. And then, boom. First thing, pretty much. I mean, it's the second degree of Capricorn. Because by then, I'm talking about Friday now, right? Because tomorrow is the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year. Southern hemisphere, the shortest day of the year, but still a turning point. I think I mentioned that in last week's report, right? And so the moon moves into Capricorn, and we have a full moon. Sun at the beginning of Cancer, moon at the beginning of Capricorn. She's going to be glorious, so check that out. That is happening on Friday. And then, then the sun goes into an inconjunct with Pluto. Oh, see the deer out there? Deet, 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 deet. It's great. I lose track. I mean, what's the big thing I'm going to be talking about this week? We've got the Sun, Mercury, Venus conjunct in Cancer. Very beautiful, very wonderful. Something we just want to talk about Cancer a little bit today. But before that Sun goes into Cancer, it squares Neptune. Yeah? We've got the Sun square Neptune tomorrow, just before heading into Cancer. Okay? And then, and probably this is going to go on for like a couple weeks almost. Okay? That Sun goes into Cancer, joins Mercury and Venus for a square to the moon's nodes. Okay? Mercury is exactly square the moon's nodes on Saturday. Venus is exactly square the moon's nodes next Tuesday. The Sun is coming up there. So I want to talk about these squares to the nodes. I want to talk about the Sun square Neptune, the full moon, Sabian symbol. What else? By Sunday, the moon does move into Aquarius. And is going to square Uranus and a couple of other things going on there. But let me find us just a spot in this nice place here to talk at you. Take me on a sentimental journey. A sentimental journey home. That should be the song for this week. Except I don't know the name of it. Maybe it's Sentimental Journey. It's a super old one. Oh, but we're moving into Cancer with the full moon in Capricorn. We're talking sentimental journey, baby. This is a week to feel those feelings. Cancer, Sun in Cancer, to talk about those feelings. Mercury in Cancer. and to just like really be attracted to and want to be comfortable at home. And this is where the challenge lies. Where is home? Where is home? Where do we belong? Where do I belong? These are some of the questions that can be coming up for us these days. Emotional connection, cardinal water, Cancer, the first sign of the zodiac, water sign, the first water sign, right? Fire, earth, air, water, Cancer, fourth house, the bottom of the chart in the natural horoscope, okay? Nadir, the unconscious, the subconscious, the psychic, intuitive, belly, the gut, the womb, the breasts. This is all Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Wanting safety, wanting security. That crab has a hard shell because it's got a soft inner world. And a big inner world. So this is an introverted sign. It's what's going on inside of me, what's going on in my feelings, what's going on in my innermost reality. And then full moon, Capricorn. The big bad world out there, the government, the boss, the employer, the father or the mother, the external authorities, the police, the WHO, whoever. There's a lot of external authorities these days. There's like people clamoring to be authorities. So there is this. That's why one of the songs for today is Xavier Rudd, World Order. You got to check it out. I love Xavier, man. Just saw him a couple weeks ago. He's awesome. And if you go in towards and you stay in there towards the end, you see his kids and his wife and his family. It's just so Cancer. Oh my goodness. He's probably got some Cancer because he's kind of a home guy. But anyway, there is this tug of war. I don't want to say a tug of war, but the 4th and the 10th house, Cancer and Capricorn, the personal world and the professional world. Your outer persona, Capricorn, 10th house, my business, my office, how people see me, my reputation, what people think of me, blah, 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 blah. And then Cancer, my inner child. And I don't care what anybody says. And I don't care what anybody thinks. I want my milk. I want my this. I want my that. So, to Cancer, feelings matter. Feelings are important. And where do these feelings come out? Mostly with mom. Mom. And childhood issues, even going back into the womb, the first 9 months is really when we've all got a mom and we are all connected to mom. Big karma with mom and dad, whether he's in the scene, in the picture or not. Okay? You go into family constellations and you hope that dad is in the picture. If not, the child takes on the negative traits of the father. So, best to have the real thing there, whether it's happy or sad or mad. But, yeah. Anyway, yeah, this family environment, our childhood brings us back. This is the sentimentality. This is where we are emotionally connected and we are karmically connected with these family members, siblings, children, grandchildren, wherever you are on the spectrum. Okay, there's just like, boom, blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than water. Family ties. It's in our reptilian brain from millions of years ago, we were tribes, we were families, we counted on each other, we need each other. This interdependency is like super important. And safety is super important. And so, let's face it, it's not very safe. I just read an article about World War III. There's a whole bunch of stuff, coming around the bend. We got wars popping out all over the place, left and right. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about that after I read you the Sabian symbol for this, for this full moon. 3 rose windows in a Gothic church, 1 damaged by war. The necessary realization by any individual making a violent use of collective power that it will lead to the inevitable destruction of some of the values ensuring group integration, family. So, I should read you Capricorn, the 1st degree, okay, because it refers to it. The 1st degree of Capricorn is an Indian chief claims power from the assembled tribe. The power and responsibility implied in any claim for leadership. So after he claims the power, boom. It seems obvious that the interpretation of this symbol should refer to the disruptive consequences of war. The chief, who claimed power from his tribe in order to lead or save it, must reckon with the consequences of a too impulsive use of this power in terms of violence. The integration he seeks to maintain or enhance may be partially destroyed if, in his ambition, he yearns to be the victorious war leader glorified by his people. A rose window is not absolutely essential to a cathedral, yet it symbolizes that through which the light of the Spirit enters into the edifice. Our soul is said to be threefold. Which part of our inner trinity of principles tends to be destroyed by the use of violence? Evidently, the principle of love and compassion. Love and compassion brings me to Neptune in Pisces, the egoless, selfless, loving, compassionate heart of Buddha, or the sacred heart of Jesus, or the whole, the law of one, that we are all one in some way, shape, and form. We are all connected. And here is Neptune at the final degrees of his own sign, Pisces. And the sun has to kind of go through this 90-degree gate. It's got a square Neptune before going home to Cancer. Yeah? And that square, last week I talked about Mercury square Neptune, Venus square Neptune. Now the sun is square Neptune. What's going on? Chaos. Confusion. Neptune in Pisces is the collective unconscious. And the collective unconscious, can be a garbage bin for everything that humanity has ignored, avoided, and denied for thousands of years. And what is that? Feelings. The feminine. The inner world. Yeah? That's what's been denied through this whole dominating cultural, patriarchal, 6,500 years. So, yeah, and then what's glorified is the war. So I want to tie this in together, this Cancerian need for safety, for security, for emotional connection, for nurturing, for being held. And then, boom, that not only the full moon, but Pluto is also up there in conjunct the sun. And that has to do, that in conjunct aspect has to do with endings. Yeah? Graduation. Time to move on to something different, something new. And so, this is a time where we can, so many people are looking for where they belong and don't feel like they belong anywhere. Really, since Saturn even went through Aquarius and we had social distancing and wearing masks, there's been a whole shift in these last 4 years, okay, towards digital nomads, right? And people working at home, alone, on the internet, not seeing each other, not connecting with each other, except through Facebook or Instagram or Telegram or WhatsApp gram or gram this, gram that. Woo-hoo-hoo! The real Cancerian water emotional connection is not that. Can't get it on the screen, baby. And so like this whole, and then there's a fear. Cancer is shy. The moon is shy. Yeah, it's like, I'm nervous and this, that, and the other. So, it's not easy these days with all the technology to make honest, sincere, deep, nurturing, holding relationships. And it starts with the family. It starts in our domestic life. And what is Neptune but ideals? The dream. The pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Neptune is our imagination. And so, this square, okay, can really be a time where we reflect on, is our reality reflecting our ideals? Yeah? Or is it time to chase a new rainbow? Is it time to, seek my home, my nurturing, my holding somewhere else, someplace else? And then we come to the final straw. Home is where the heart is. Home and the sense of belonging is inside. Self-love. The moon is exalted in Taurus. Yes? Ruled by Venus. The sign of self-love. And now we come through Gemini into Cancer. And this is self-nurturing. I need to be my own mother and my own father and my own nurturer, and really come in and own, trust my feelings, know my feelings, feel my feelings, make my feelings important. More important than, and I may have talked about this before already, but we're moving from the head to the heart. So there is this sense of there is no right or wrong feeling. We have judgments, but like I said last week, right? The judgment is a tragic expression of an unmet need. Yeah, and when we're in touch with our needs, and we are receiving empathy and sympathy and emotional connection and understanding. This is what Cancer wants. And then Capricorn, that full moon in Capricorn, is not so judgmental. It's not so much about right and wrong. There's not this guilt trip, this feeling ashamed, which is just so a part of Capricorn and Saturn. So we have this time period also, and this is really what, the mantra is working for. Again, it's a little bit of this NVC. I'm totally into Marshall Rosenberg. And one of his quotes was, if you want to be miserable, just keep thinking about all the wrong things that are happening in life and around you. And when we get caught in judgment of right and wrong, and good and bad, and heaven and hell, right? This and that, we know that we're lost in ego separation. Only from distance, only from separation, only from objectivity can we judge. When we connect with the heart and with love and sympathy, we understand that everybody is human, that everybody is just trying to meet their needs, and some have a better strategy than others, okay? But the strategy can be bad or wrong or hurtful, but not the person. So we can do wrong things, but that doesn't mean that we are wrong. And when we get into these places where we judge ourselves as right or wrong, good or bad, worthy or unworthy, we get into this whole kind of mess around judgment. So this Cancer time period now, this next month really of the sun moving through Cancer, Venus moving through Cancer, this is really a time of talking about love, of talking about family, of talking about our blood relations, of talking, about all our relations. Yeah? We can get right to the deer. Okay? We can get right to, Mother Nature, that we're all the human family, and then we are all the Gaia's family. Yeah? So, I know that with this kind of a mantra, people can say, oh my goodness, if we all just paid attention, to happiness and joy and danced and sang, we could get invaded. A war could break out, and we could get, imprisoned, and we've got to fight for freedom. There's this whole kind of bullshit narrative out there, that, you've got to stand up and be strong if you want to be free. But this is not the way of Cancer. This is not the way of love. This is not the way of connection. It's simply moving towards a place of empathy, moving towards a place of understanding. And there will emerge naturally freedom. Because when we care for each other, we want each other to be free. And, it's just really breaking the chains, breaking the conditioning, breaking the way that it has been, and bringing in a new freaking way, baby. Ow! And should I get into this or not? Well, we also have to look at the evolutionary stages. I'm doing a couple controversial things here. Number one, people can say you're going to be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand and dance and sing while the Palestinians and the Ukrainians and everybody is, at war, and, it's terrible and blah, 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 blah. And to that, my response is, it has to be organic. This change that we're going through may take generations. Letting go of the dominating culture, moving into a new paradigm. This is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not something that we're going to fight for and win and then conquer the other side and move into peace. No. This is an organic, emergence. And as an organic, We know that what is organic what? It's a seed, then it's a sprout, yeah, then it's a sapling, and then it's a tree. We start at home. First, we make peace with ourselves. We have compassion, love, and understanding, and we forgive ourselves for all of our bad strategies. That maybe, people got hurt in the past, okay, and it's not that we're wrong, it's that we had bad strategies. We just had a bad plan, and it went haywire, yeah? So, we move forward, and then with this self-acceptance, then we radiate out to our nearest and dearest. Then we come out to our neighbors. Yeah, our physical neighbors, hopefully. Hopefully you talk to your neighbors. It's amazing. A lot of people don't even know their neighbors these days. It's like, ow, yeah, baby. And then the community. And then from that community, you go out to, the state or the country or it grows, yeah, like ripples out of a pond when you throw a rock in there. So when we're at peace within ourselves, we are doing the best service to everyone we know and to planet Earth herself and to all of humanity. That's the best thing we can do, is be at peace, in a state of satisfaction, comfortable in our bodies, with our heart open, ready to receive, ready to listen, ready to empathize, being present for each other. Okay, then we could even say this is maybe a time of year where part of this is that part of the cycle. And especially square the nodes. The squaring the nodes says before we can get from Libra any codependence into Aries independence, we have to do this Cancerian process of connecting with our own feelings and emotions and our own needs, and find ways to fill those needs, and not just maybe rely on one person for those needs. Okay, or one job for those needs, or one mother or authority figure for those needs, some guru. But spread your needs out and trust. We want to trust the future. We want to trust life, that even with wars and poverty and violence and everything that you can read about on the news, this is the other thing. The freaking news, man. Since when? Since when do people take the news so seriously? It's amazing, man. We have known, since I was a kid, many years ago, the evening news is full of crap. And they play on emotions to get their ads, sell their stuff. And, they bring up negativity more than anything positive. So it's just, it's just like, let go. Yeah, let go of that news. That it's biased, it's censored. There's all kinds of, misinformation. Just come home. And when we come home to ourselves with this Sun, Mercury, Venus squaring the moon's nodes, it's the skip step. And when we do that skip step, boom, then we're going to heal the wounded warrior. Then we're going to do that North Node in Aries. Then we're going to make the right choices, the right decisions, because we trust our instincts, because we took the time to sit with our gut and with our feeling. I can go on and on, because speaking of the gut, okay, cancer is also food, and food disorders, bulimia and anorexia, all these food issues, comfort food, All right, this is also a time to be like, whoa, check it out, right? Try nurturing yourself with some other healthy things. And it doesn't have to just be food. Though food is nice, this can also be a time of taking a cooking class and getting in the kitchen and nurturing yourself and your family with just the best of Mother Nature and the garden. Come home to the garden. Ow! Yeah, baby. With your family. It's a family affair. That was my other song for today. It's a family affair. Now, before I go, I also have to talk about what? The downside. The downside. Neptune is not only the law of one and spirit and meditation and love and the open heart, it is also self-delusion, psychosis, neurosis, paranoia, okay, like wacko, okay, right? And somebody in my school, just asked this question about, okay, well, if Neptune can be psychosis or psychic abilities, which one is it? Perfect question. And we could talk about that for a long time. It has a lot to do with the evolutionary stage that the soul is in. Neptune rules the spiritual stage, which is 5% of the population. 5% of the population has a healthy relationship to Neptune and their crown chakra and spirit. 95% of the population, the individuated and the consensus, okay, don't have such a great relationship with Neptune. And it has way more to do with projection, imagination, and that can lead to disillusionment, despair, depression, when my ideals and my dreams don't get met. And a lot of us are going through a lot of disillusionment now with Saturn in Pisces and Neptune in Pisces. And now, these last couple of weeks may have been some disappointment. And you heard some sad news or some bad news or some, things in the family are not kosher. They're not happy. It's not a happy family. How many happy families do you know? That are not suppressing their anger. Anyway. Where was I? I lost it with that one. It's just, yeah. So what we have is, and what you can really do with astrology, and here is where you have to look at your natal chart. Where is Cancer in your chart? Where is this Neptune transiting your chart? Is it hitting any of your natal planets? What house is it in? I mean, we've got all, so, you really have to look at the individual's chart to see, okay, what evolutionary stage they're in, and if it's going to be psychosis or psychic capacities. Yeah? And yes, we have free will and we choose. That's what astrology is all about. It's about taking our conscious mind and becoming aware of our unconscious soul pattern that's revealed in your astrological birth chart. And when your conscious mind is in alignment with your unconscious mind, you're in the flow, baby, right? So you have to look at the whole chart to see what's going on. And it's a process. That's what the astrologer does. That's what astrology is. I will say that it is the hard aspects. The sesquiquadrate, the opposition, the square is one of the hardest. The semi-square, okay, the inconjunct, the quincunx. When you've got these aspects to Neptune, it's stressed. And that stress will lead to distortion, which can lead to the psychosis, neurosis, and delusion. Okay? the trines, the sextiles, the quintiles, the septiles. These are, these are powerful holding aspects that are going to bring up, okay, that this person, makes movies, or, is a painter, an artist, a guru, a meditator, strong musician, or spiritual life, or yoga teacher, or whatever. So we have, you have to look at the whole chart and how that Neptune is woven in. And right now it's woven into our collective unconscious as what? End, finish, close, complete. It's in the last degrees of Pisces for the first time in 165 years. So we are letting go of a lot of illusions. And that can be depressing. That can cause a lot of grief. So this is a time with Sun, Mercury, Venus moving through Cancer. Feel your grief. Shed your tears. Own your sorrow. Go through a mourning process. It's natural. It's healthy. And even though you fall apart, you will come back together again. You are not Humpty Dumpty. You are a human being. Oh my God. Ow! If I want to be miserable, I can think of everything that's wrong. And if I want to improve my day, I'll dance and sing a song. Right? We can't control the world, and we can waste. Not only waste, it's not just a waste. It's actually when we take in Neptune, this collective unconscious, and we take in all the fear, that's being generated, and all the, the control and the sickness and the, the distortion, and hold those healthy boundaries like a crab. Boop. Yeah. Go in your little freaking hole, man. Keep yourself safe. Create safe space for yourself, for your loved ones, for your little kittens and your dogs and whatever, We got to care for each other. We got to keep each other safe. This is the North Node in Aries is the protector. So feel into it. Feel how frail, how dainty, how delicate so much of beautiful Mother Nature is, so much of ourselves. We are all so Cancerian. We are all so sensitive. And as we open up to our sensitivity, it is really beautiful and it's scary. So I hope that you face the fears around opening and do it anyway. If I want to be miserable, I can think of everything that's wrong. And if I want to improve my day, I'll dance and sing a song. May you dance today and this week and sing a song. Namaste. Aloha. So much love. Oh yeah, one more thing. I forgot. Starting segment 2. New Paradigm Astrology, School of Astrology. I've got the online school. Check it out. I'll put a link below in the notes. We've done segment 1, which is, very, very basic, the elements. Now we're moving into the meanings of the planets. So, that starts in July. Yeah, July 7th. Starts segment 2, baby. We're going right through all the segments, giving you a full, from the bottom up education in astrology. If you wanna join, learn more, check it out. Click that link below. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have an awesome, awesome, awesome week. Namaste.